What's up, guys? Alex here, Armando over there too. Starting a live stream very soon. I bought a lot of crypto, just to give you a sneak preview. But I did sell my Bitcoin. I sold all my Bitcoin, and that's honest. But yeah, do me a favor, like the video, share it, do the things with the algorithm that you know what to do, that everybody tries to tell you to do. Do that. Yeah, so let's rate this video, like, I don't know, in the middle or something. I'll ask again, but let's rate the video of how much clickbait is it. 10 out of 10 clickbait, 1 out of 10 clickbait. I'll tell you guys what I mean by selling all my Bitcoin. You tell me. You tell me if it's clickbait or not. But yeah, do me a favor, like the video. Let's get 500 people in here. We're only at 144. We only have 29 likes. It's kind of disrespectful. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. You guys know I'm joking. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it, do the stuff. Thank you. Yes, I did in fact sell all of my Bitcoin. In fact, the actuality of the situation is yes, I sold my Bitcoin. I did sell my Bitcoin, so it's real. I was not the cause of the dump, okay? I was not the cause of the dump. What does it say? Alex selling wolf tickets? What does that mean? What are you guys talking about? Ask me some good questions. And at the same time, do me a favor, like the video. There's 140 people in here. Only 47 likes. Do me a favor really quickly, just for a quick second. Just like the video. That would be great. Let's get it to as many people as possible. I just drank my coffee. I'm hyped. Been up since 4 o'clock in the morning. Can't sleep. Maybe some of you can't sleep. But yeah, we're going to put you at ease. That's why I do what I do. Helps people out. Got a risk tolerance here. Not only do I have a risk tolerance, but I'm crazy enough to buy I bought, and if you guys didn't know, I said this on Twitter, and I bought a lot. Okay, I bought a lot, and I was making some wild decisions this morning. It's not because I'm FOMOing, okay? It's because I feel like the market is very manipulated, but I'm giving away way too much, and there's a black screen. So do me a favor, like the video, share the content, subscribe to the channel. Do me a favor, like the video. I always have to sing every live stream just so you guys can do this. Like, what do you want me to dance? You want me to dance everywhere? Like, you want me to wear like a hat or something? Like, what are you gonna do? What am I gonna do for the likes? How low can I go for the likes? Nah, I'm just kidding. I go pretty low for the Satoshis though. Do me a favor, like the video. All right, cool. Someone said to hit the like button twice. Yes, maybe you should just go get like your mom's tablet and your brother's computer and like hit the like button. Let's do that. If we can't physically do it, let's muster up the manpower. I'm just joking, guys. It's obviously a joke. Okay, I'm not that crazy. But if you like the video, it might be something, we might be cool in the future. I don't know. Maybe I might make more content. I think we have some good content today. Armando's in the building, so he's gonna be talking about some technical analysis. What are our future thoughts? I mean, I sound very happy because I feel like I made the right decision. So are you guys making the right decision? Ask yourself that question. We're going to be going through all of our thoughts in this video. Of course, we're not 100% correct with everything, but we can fix that, right? We can fix that. As long as at the end of the day, you're making money, that's the goal here, right? So do me a favor, like the video. Let's get it to as many people as possible. We're starting very soon. So I sold all my BTC to ETH, and now I just convinced Eddie and Marty, and they sold all of their Bitcoin to ETH. So yeah, I'm not lying to you. I have officially sold all of my Bitcoin.
Yeah, I did as well. Like, I actually literally just sold it. So if you guys want the blockchain transactional proof, I will have that ready for you guys.
All right, so I told Eddie to start the live stream quicker because I'm getting bored out here, okay? Your comments are boring, okay? So I'd rather just talk because that's more fun. I'm just kidding. I'm joking, guys. How you guys doing? I hope everybody had an okay weekend. I don't mean to be too happy. I know a lot of people are going to get upset. Honestly, the comment section didn't look that bad. So hopefully you guys are in good spirits too. A lot of you are like crypto veterans and stuff, clearly, because there's some good vibes in there. So yeah, I mean, personally, I wasn't really affected. I've experienced way worse. The market's obviously down right now. Yesterday was worse. Yesterday was like a 26% or something crazy. And then today, it's like another 5-10%. So, obviously people are freaking out a little bit, or not yesterday, the day before yesterday. Sorry.
Saturday.
Yesterday was like a sideways day, yeah. But yeah, everybody's freaking out. What am I doing? I think I have a pretty clear-headed decision process, and I have a lot of data to back all of that up. And I don't have a haircut, so my hat Let me fix that for you because I look like you guys can't even see my face. But yeah, things are happening. Got Armando here. Marty's here. We're going to be going over, of course, my decision to sell all of my Bitcoin, exactly the reasons why. I also bought some altcoins. And just to give you an update, I'm just going to give you guys like a 5-minute spiel of like what I'm doing. I have a full video coming out tonight. So tonight you'll get all of the details and exactly what I did with my portfolio. So stay tuned for that video. It's going to be a great one. Also, just to run through the basic stuff, you guys know the deal. We have a $100 giveaway. I'm going to be giving it away to one of my subscribers. So if you're new here, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. Also, my marketing director said if you're smart, you would go get other people's YouTube account and subscribe to our channel. You'll get like multiple entries, but don't tell them I told you that. Don't tell them I told you that. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. We're doing $100. And when the bull market goes up, we'll get more aggressive, okay? It's just $100 now because I want to buy the dip, okay? I want to buy the dip. So that $100 is probably going to be like $500. We're giving it away, and the coin of your choice. So if you pick Bitcoin, it's not going to be 500.
Yeah, peer pressure your friends to buy ETH right now.
Yeah,
I just got peer pressure to sell my Bitcoin.
That's basically what happens, man. When I make a big purchase decision, I come in the office, I pitch it to everybody, and everybody just falls in line. And then, like, not all the time though. We do have like opposing views, and that's the beauty of being physically in person with people, as well as having a regular community. Believe it or not, a lot of my research starts from FS and Discord, Fundamental Secrets. But yeah, in general. Like I said, I'm still optimistic. It never changed. Even with this dip, like I don't think anything changed at all. I'm still bullish. I still think Bitcoin's going to hit 100K, and I have a lot of conviction with that, right? Like I really believe that's going to happen. And if that happens, then the next decision should mirror that, right? You shouldn't be getting scared. And I think that's what a lot of people are doing right now is like they still believe Bitcoin's 100K, but their actions are not showing it, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, there probably is a little bit more downside, and I have a couple of extra bullets in the chamber to buy the dip with more money, as well as more, and I told you guys, I went 100% in. I did. With my trading portfolio, I went all in, okay? The new video that's coming out tonight, I also found a way to extend my capital, so I actually didn't pull any new capital in, okay? And I have still more bullets in the chamber to extend it, as well as some profits that we made as a business. So I still have cash flow. I have cash flow, and I have ways to extend my money. I'll explain it more in the video tonight. But yeah, so I still got a couple of shots. I don't care if Bitcoin, there's obviously a point where like we have to all get scared. And that's what Armando is going to go over. He's going to be showing us kind of like the absolute, like if Bitcoin gets to this price, then you probably want to cut your losses and move on, or at least cut your losses and buy back cheaper and try to win in the long run. As well as there's a situation where it could be a good bounce off of support, and Bitcoin then it goes to 100K, a good buying opportunity. Our coach Will has basically outlined all of these, I guess you could say, buying opportunities, DCA opportunities, limit order opportunities, so you can have it worked out, right? You don't have to invest with emotions. You can invest with logic, and you can prepare yourself for these things, right? So, yeah, we're going to be going over all those details, but just to be clear, I'm not going to be able to stay in this live stream forever, so I just want to tell you the reasoning behind the title. So, guys, yes, I sold all of my Bitcoin, and just to be very clear, I sold it for Ethereum. So what I believe is two likely scenarios, and there's obvious ones, right? Number one, end of market, Bitcoin, this is over, right? That I don't think that's happened. I think that's probably like a 20 to 30% likelihood. So I'm leaning towards the second one. But if the market's over, well, there's a good chance that for the next 2-3 weeks, we're going to see a big altcoin push of the second narrative, which is utility. We have the first narrative of Bitcoin, which is a superior form of money that everybody knows. And then we have the same or second narrative, which is utility, NFTs, DeFi, gaming tokens, all of these other projects. So regardless of the situation, if it's the end of the market, there's likely at least 2 weeks to a month. And I have data to back this up with my new video coming out tonight, but at least like 2 weeks to a month of some good altcoin price action, hence my buying decision of buying altcoins. You guys understand my gist here? So if the market ends, altcoins are going to do well. If the market does well, altcoins are going to do well. So I highly recommend that, and this is not financial advice, but you could see how I came into the office. I'm like, look, okay, Bitcoin's a dinosaur. It's not making us money. Okay, it's not. If I would have sold my Bitcoin for Ethereum, I would have been like 100% better. I would have made way more money if I would have sold it 2 months ago. So at this point, even though the end goal is to stack more sats, And I do believe Bitcoin is a long-term vision. And maybe I'll have one of those motivational videos about Bitcoin because I feel like no one cares about it anymore. But I care about it. It is the most valuable coin in my eyes. And my goal is always to make more. Even though that's still a thing for me, I have to let it go for now. I have to let it go for now because there's more gains and it's safer, in my personal opinion, to be in altcoins right now. Hence my decision, hence the title. And now let me ask you guys this question. 1 being the worst clickbait ever or 10 being the best clickbait ever. What is it? Leave your numbers in the chat box. Leave your numbers in the chat box. If it was the worst clickbait ever, then it should be a 10 out of 10. Tell me I didn't tell the truth. I said the truth on my title. All right? I said I sold all my Bitcoin and I sold all my Bitcoin. So how could that possibly be? It's not clickbait. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe context is everything. Maybe that's why I tell you guys when you watch YouTube videos, don't make investment decisions because what? Context is everything, right? Knowing exactly what's happening. I mean, come work for me. If you guys want to learn like the back end, come work for me or join the Discord. I let open these gates so that people can get this information. But don't make investment decisions off of an image and a title, please. Don't do that. That's the wrong way to go. But yeah, I think I got everything out. Any questions? Let's see any comments. Oh, what we got here? Yeah, see? It's not that bad. People are saying 1. They're saying 1. Someone said 10. It's not I know you're mad this morning. It's okay. Take a deep breath. You know, I'm going to work outside after this, and I'm going to go to the Everglades, and like I'm going to get some Wi-Fi on my phone and do some research. Take a deep breath, relax, go to the beach. If you don't have a beach, go to a mountain. If you don't have a mountain, go to a lake. If you don't have a lake, I don't know where you live. Maybe it's not in the metaverse, but you need to take a deep breath, okay, and relax. Like Marty's freaking out this morning. Marty's freaking out this morning.
I mean, I almost tapped into the emergency savings fund there.
Not yet.
Not yet. You got to have a couple bullets in a chamber just in case it keeps going down. Will was talking about this. We're going to talk about specific price points, of course, but let me just, subscribe to the channel. We're doing a $100 giveaway to one of the subscribers. Of course, I have a course called Fundamental Secrets that you guys can get access to. And we have a podcast that drops every Thursday, and the next one's really, really interesting, and that's alexanderlorenzo.buzzsprout.com. All right, I'm done. I'm out. I got to go, guys.
Damn. All right. Well, then. Very energetic and passionate speech there from Alex.
It's a coffee.
You need to quit that caffeine, man. I just watched like a whole.
But yeah, guys. I mean, obviously,
I'm
going to be going over a little bit more in-depth details as to what Alex means by him selling his BTC and turning it into ETH. His reasoning behind it. Obviously, he's going to go a lot more in depth in that video tonight. So please make sure to go keep your eye out for that. But I'll go over some kind of macro details, technical details, and we'll go from there.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I was just going to go over some projects that I was buying.
Let's do it.
Eddie, if you just want to, we'll start off with a little watch list for you guys if you want to have on your end. So I bought some cake today. This is Pancake here on the 4-hour chart. It's been kind of in like this wedge pattern here. Broke out, obviously, with this massive dip, but it is already pretty much recovering back into this wedge. Looks like, 10, 11, 12 bucks is a pretty good support. So I bought about $1,000 worth of cake, and I also staked it. So basically, I'm going to be taking advantage of the gains there for cake, because if we actually look at it, I believe all-time highs is like somewhere around $42. And if we just pull out the tool here, where's the measuring for me? Where'd it go? There it is, measure. From here, it's about a 3 to 4x to all-time highs. Now, obviously, maybe nothing is ever guaranteed, right? Just because it had these all-time highs doesn't mean it'll get back there again. But it is a juicy 2.5, 3x there. So could make some pretty good gains on Pancake itself, and then also take advantage of the yield, which I think was like 75% when I got in today. I've seen it go as high as like 110, 120% before. So that'd just be some extra income there.
75% yield. Traditional finance could never.
Could never, exactly. And then some other projects I'm looking at. Bought some more AVAX. Picking up some more Solana. I think I was watching something on YouTube today, probably the caffeine thing, and then Solana ads kept popping up. I think they were doing a live stream talking about they're launching they're having like a pre-sale on some of their NFTs right now. So Solana looks really bullish as well right now. Still picking up more gaming tokens like Sand, Gala, Engine, just sticking to the fundamentals. Elrond still a really good buy. I mean, geez, below $300. I got in this at 80. Veracity as well. Also another NFT metaverse type play. But as you can see, these coins got absolutely crushed with this dip. So again, guys, it's just something you want to keep in mind is that when ETH and Bitcoin lose, alts lose 2 to 3 times more, right? So don't, if you're really heavily exposed to alts, just be okay with those types of losses because they're going to come.
Or do the smart thing as well and have stop losses in place, right, guys? So we always are a pretty big proponent of having stop losses. So that way, if you find yourself in profit, you can keep yourself in profit, right? So if you notice that once you originally get into a position, right, you see you're in profits, you want to obviously keep riding these profits. So you might set a stop loss right above where you got in so you can at least lock in some profits, right? So
and DCA out as well.
Exactly.
Especially if it's like a really long-term hold, something you maybe hold till the end of the bull market. You could take profits like every 20, 25%. Everybody's got different strategies. I know Matt, he's one of our coaches. He has like a DCA out strategy on the way up, like taking profits. So yeah, and obviously if it's a shorter term trade, you'll probably take heavier profits, right? Maybe half right away or 75%. Really, it's up to you.
Yeah, guys, everyone's a different kind of trader. I find myself to be more of like an investor type swing trader. So I usually, if I buy something, I'm usually holding it for a little bit longer of a period, as a term to like a day trader, scalp trader, who are just looking to get in and out of trades, usually within the same day, or even, scalp trader within the same hour. Really depends on what your trading style is. But what the good thing about that is that if you don't know what your trading style is, you can always look up the fundamental secrets, and we can help you out with that. We'll help you figure out what you might be best at. I know I discovered I was better suited for being an investor and swing trader than I am for day trading and scalping, right? So everyone has their niche and what they think they can be good at. I did want to start going over some of the news that I found over the weekend.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all saw what happened over the weekend.
Oh, yeah. Crazy.
This massive dump or correction, whatever you want to call it. We're still in the midst of trying to find out what exactly happened, right? But we can only look over what's happened and try and reassess and see where we're going to go forward.
Exactly.
With that being said, Adi, if you want to switch over here to my tablet, as you can see here, we saw Bitcoin market dominance sink. So we obviously saw Bitcoin dump, but as a mid to this dump, we saw ETH to the ETH to BTC ratio sharply rise, right? And if this is something that you've never heard of before, this is basically taking ETH to Bitcoin dominance. If you didn't know, basically market dominance dipped to as low as 38% over the weekend for Bitcoin, right? Which is pretty huge. This is levels that we haven't seen both BTC be at and ETH reach at in the last 3.5 years. If you take a look at the video that Alex actually did over the weekend, he pretty much goes really in depth as to what happened with ETH. It's something crazy, like over 1,182 days since the last time ETH was actually able to get into this type of market dominance that it has, right? So if you didn't know, market dominance is basically taking the total market cap of a coin and taking it over the entire market capitalization over the market, right? So BTC's current market is, I think, at around 914 billion, which gives it, a total market capitalization of around 38% of around the entire market. That's the easiest way I can break it down for you in case you didn't know what that was.
And then, guys, I was reading the comments here. Adam, I know you're basically replying to Alex saying that you're looking at one of Alex's videos and he said to never really ever sell out of a coin completely. What Alex means by when he said he sold 100% of his Bitcoin, it's his trading portfolio, right? He's got long-term holds of Bitcoin that he's bought, sub under 1,000, sub under 2,000, 3,000. That's in some cold storage wallet in the back of his room, right? That he's probably not going to cash out for at least another 20, 30, 50 years, whatever it is, right? So when he means that he sold all of his Bitcoin, it's just what was readily available to trade or to convert between other cryptos, and he went just all into Ethereum, which I hope you guys, that clears up things for you as well. So even when I say I sold all of my Bitcoin, there's still there's like a hardware wallet that has Bitcoin on it that's just thrown away somewhere that I, have locked up to then cash out later on. And then I'll be picking up Bitcoin during the bear season, right? Stacking sats and then adding to that hardware wallet.
Exactly, guys. So this kind of goes back in hand to what I mentioned before, right? Trying to figure out what kind of trader you are. But you're always going to have, hopefully you have different portfolios. So I know I have my investment portfolio that I add to every couple of weeks with just money I get from my paychecks. And then I have, my trading portfolio that, that's the thing that I actually trade with almost not every single day, but that's where I pick up my trades most of the time, right? And then I just constantly add to my investing portfolio for, 10 to 15, 20 years down the line. Into more news, right, guys? So I did want to mention this because I noticed that this is something that was, I don't know if it was brought over the weekend, But basically, using different exchanges saw different numbers or like different wicks down, right? So I just wanted to bring this up.
You mentioned Hiobi to me, right? Like the what happened on the Hiobi exchange where it dipped down to like 28 or something.
I did not notice that.
Oh,
that's actually
somebody, whether it was you or somebody mentioned to me that on the Hiobi exchange, there was a wick that went down to 28K BTC, which is insane.
Yeah, guys. So this was pretty insane, right? So if you were on KuCoin, which I told you is probably my main centralized exchange that I use to do my trading, it wicked down to as far as like almost 40,600. Other exchanges, saw different types of wicks. Some went to as down as 41, some came down to 43. But I just wanted to show you that you were going to see some crazy price action on KuCoin. In case you didn't use it for, you could have scooped up some really good buy limits over here, right?
Oh my gosh!
Imagine if you would have if you were able to catch this wick, you'd already be in profit, right? Imagine sitting where we are now at 48. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention because I know some people in the FS group were able to catch some of these wicks, especially on some altcoins. I know one of my favorite altcoins, Rose, was able to get to like a crazy price of like 17 cents on KuCoin, which honestly on every other exchange, I think the lowest it got to was like 23 cents, 22 cents. So you were able to get some really good deals if you were on KuCoin and paying out to these wicks.
It looked like it got down to 42.2, Marty.
42. Okay, Hiobi. I thought I saw something maybe said it was 28. I don't know what it was.
28. That'd be.
Yeah.
Unless they were comparing July again, July, August.
Always could be an issue. I know I brought this up also. I bring it up on a couple live streams, but I've mentioned how El Salvador is trying to transition into geothermal power. I just wanted to give a different take on it because, here we try and be both sides. We're not reliant towards Bitcoin being the almighty thing. We try and look at things with reason. So a very interesting article was written on Bitcoin from one of the ecologists in El Salvador, pretty much going over some of the concerns he has with geothermal energy and pretty much what the president is trying to do, right? So if you look over here on my tablet, Ricardo Navarro is the name of the ecologist. He pretty much just goes over and still thinks that geothermal energy has a ways to go before it can officially replace oil as their main source of energy consumption, which makes sense, right? We all know that geothermal energy still costs more than to produce an oil. He goes here as to what he believes is going to happen, right? So right now, with the way oil is costing, he still thinks that they're going to have to end up buying more oil to supply the energy for the geothermal station that they're building, right? It goes over more evidence as to why he believes there's some issues with the plan, but obviously these are things that the president has probably taken into account. You don't just start building a Bitcoin mining facility on the mountain or a volcano if you haven't started taking these things into account, right? So I feel like with due time, you will see a lot of these issues be resolved. Obviously, everyone's going to have their opinion on what they believe is right or wrong, and especially the people of El Salvador, which are kind of going through massive changes, right? So I just wanted to bring this to your attention, obviously, because we want everyone to be informed, not just know all the good details about something. You should obviously hear some retaliation, some things that go the good, the bad, the ugly, right?
Sorry, I was seeing that in the chat there. People were asking about Moon River a lot.
Moon River, yes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we had put it in our group as a trade call, right? Still think it's a really good play. I mean, I think it's like down a decent amount here, right? I mean, yeah, it was up at basically $400, and now, almost 500. Now down to 202. So, would be a good place to DCA into, if I remember correctly. It is like a metaverse play, if I do remember correctly, or is it with Polkadot? It's one of those two, or is that Glimmer? Man, I keep too many things to keep track of. But yeah, I mean, it's a good price to DCA into. I mean, $300 down from previous all-time highs. So
definitely, it's actually I'm still looking to get into some Glimmer whenever they start selling that token.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Everybody's excited about Glimmer.
If you haven't looked into that, Alex did a video on that as well. Goes into details to what Glimmer is. Definitely look into that project, which is under Moon River, if you are interested in Moon River itself. Going over some other things that I found, right, guys? So I do like to update you guys on what's going on in the NFT space. If you didn't know, earlier in the year, Time came out with some NFTs. If you didn't know, Time is one of the biggest publications in the United States, and not just the United States, probably around the world. It's one of the oldest, print magazines in the world. And they pretty much go over how they're transitioning and trying to get people to transition into crypto and Web3, right? So the president, Keith Grossman, spoke with Decrypt, which is the website that we use to get our news, and he believes in the potential of Web3 and how he is trying to help and onboard his readers into crypto. This is super interesting. I believe, obviously, Time Magazine, we all know how big that magazine is. Every year, I feel like they have great news.
Some sort of special edition coming out, right?
It's still very popular with obviously the older generation, which is what they probably is most of their consumer base, right? And if they start transitioning their consumer base, which is a lot older, most likely because Time has been around for a very long time, and a lot of younger readers, probably like us, don't read print magazine anymore. So if they start converting to digital, obviously, and then converting their consumer base to crypto, that's pretty huge. They have a pretty big following. So I thought this was pretty big news that obviously you guys should be looking out for.
You're just starting to see a lot more like these companies are getting their foot in the door, whether it's with crypto, NFTs, even DeFi, right? They're just starting to see that this is where our generation and the new generations are spending the most of their time on. I'm sure you guys have seen the articles where people in the Web 2 world are leaving their jobs to go to the Web 3 world, right? Work for these DAOs and all these like I said, DeFi and decentralized applications, and they're making a living off of that, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're only going to see a bigger push to that as crypto continues, as the bull markets and the bear markets continue, because people are really going to start to see the power and the opportunities that come with crypto.
Yeah. As we also mentioned, last week was Art Basel, guys. It kind of ended over this weekend. I had the pleasure of actually going to a few events last week. Over the weekend, I was able to partake in this event actually, which was actually really cool. So I'm sure we all have heard of the Bored Ape Yacht Club. So the lead artist behind it, Seneca, basically came out with their new project, right? So these are like 5 pieces, and they were actually unveiled in Art Basel, Miami. So I actually got to take a look at these in person, which was honestly a very cool experience, in my opinion. Got to see a lot of these things and got to actually hear what the artist had to say about it, her interpretation. Obviously, art can be interpreted in a lot of different ways. So it was really interesting to hear her take on it if you read the article. Obviously, art is very interesting, I believe, but it pretty much goes into detail, and people give specifics as to what they believe the art stands for. She had 2 of the pieces that she just released depicting apes, right? So they had baby infant apes and pretty much like a woman holding these apes. It's supposed to be a reference to the fact that people pay attention too much to these apes in these pictures and not behind the artist. That's the interpretation that this website uses, which I thought was interesting, that no one gives attention to the artist behind the NFT, but they are giving the NFT all this praise. So it's an interesting take. Obviously, art can be interpreted in many different ways. So take a look at it and you let us know what you guys think.
Well, yeah, it's just like anything in life, right? The creator and founders never get the all the due diligence and all the credit that they deserve, right? I guess unless you're like Steve Jobs or like Tesla or something, Elon Musk. So,
yeah. You have any comments or questions? Anything going on in the comments that we should know about?
Yeah, leave some comments on some altcoins.
Glimmer is actually going to be going up for sale this month.
Oh, okay.
15th.
That's great news.
So if you want to maybe mark that,
that'd be awesome. Maybe we should make a video on that.
There, somebody said, "What is Tesla?" It's a guy on Twitter who can move Bitcoin overnight
and post funny memes.
Yeah, and post funny memes. But besides that, I mean, some people are obviously kind of giving Alex some heat here, calling weak hands. Did you see like what Willy Woo and Will Clemente are saying? Again, guys, there's a lot of different opinions and theories and TAs out there. Again, it's not that we're bearish or saying crypto's over, right? It's just that the gains right now are to be made elsewhere. And if you're in this market, you're in this market for gains, right? The opportunities that can 5, 10, 20x, right?
Exactly.
Now, it makes sense investing into Bitcoin when you have hundreds of thousands of dollars, because Bitcoin doing a 10, 15% move on something like that is going to be very beneficial, and it's fairly safe for the most part, right? But that's not the reality of most people in this market. They don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars in this market. They may only have a couple thousand. So they have to go into the lower market cap trades, right, that have slightly more risk but have that potential to do that 5, 10, 20x, right? And then once they've gotten these gains and they've built their portfolio, now they start adding Bitcoin along with it.
Yes.
Oh, you guys got thoughts on AVAX?
I mean, I bought AVAX. I think AVAX is a great buy right now.
Definitely.
And I mean, this is still top 10, I believe it is, right? Yeah.
I think the project itself is very solid. The fundamentals are there.
Exactly.
They continuously are adding new partners. I like AVAX a lot, actually.
AVAX, Solana right now are probably my biggest holdings outside of Ethereum. I think I also have I'd say Phantom too. So it's ETH, and then those AVAX, Solana, and ETH for me are like and Phantom, and AVAX are the biggest holdings outside of ETH for me right now. So,
what are your thoughts on Glitch, Armando?
Yeah. Oh, so guys, I actually was able to do some research on Glitch. Let's see. So
it's a cool website.
This is actually their white paper, right, guys? So
that's our white paper. Wow.
Yeah. So
you ready for the screen share?
Yeah. You can definitely bring up the screen share. So this is Glitch's white paper, right? I always think that when you are looking up a project, one of the first things you should do is look up their white paper, because this has probably the most information that you're going to need in order to gather what you want to do with a project, right? So first of all, you're trying to find out what Glitch is trying to solve in terms of real world issues, right? So Glitch Finance, kind of says it here, is trying to revolutionize the DeFi space, right? So we all know that currently DeFi protocols, they focus on other things other than DeFi in terms of other things that they can do on their platform, right? Glitch wants to be just DeFi. Like, they literally, all they want to do is DeFi. Where was it? It pretty much goes over here, some technical information, their proof of stake, goes over the dApps, technicals there. But what I wanted to go over is what is Glitch, right? So this pretty much breaks it down for you in a really simple way. If you want to go on their this website, Medium, great information for crypto. Pretty much gives you a nice in-depth as to what Glitch is and what they're trying to do with the market, right? So similar to Avalanche, the dApps can be launched on side chains, and pretty much they're trying to scale this similar to Ethereum, right? So they want to scale in a faster and different way from Ethereum. They believe that if they just focus on DeFi, it gives them a competitive advantage as to opposed to other layer ones or other protocols in the space. Currently, let me see, I have the price right here. So right now they're ranked 502. So they do definitely have a lot of room to grow. I want to do a little bit more in-depth research as to what their competing products are. But this is kind of like, I want to show you guys what my research process is, right? So this is where I would start, and then you guys kind of have to continue it from here, right? So the project does have potential. Obviously, by market cap, it's a pretty low market cap.
Oh, yeah, it's a gem.
This could be a gem, right? So it's at 91 million.
Ooh.
So
juicy one there.
81 million, I'm sorry. The fully diluted is 91. But this could be a gem. It's a very low market cap, so it has a lot of room to grow. If this starts picking up some steam, it's obviously gone down 16% with this whole dip that BTC did, so it's just following BTC. But, I mean, just look at this chart, right? So it was at a recent top recently at over 250. So the potential is there, right? You could definitely at least 2-3 times your money if you were able to get in at this price, and it goes back to all-time highs. And it does go back to all-time highs. It'll probably keep going up. Like I said, this still ranked 502, so it has room to grow exponentially.
Yeah, and then sticking on the subject of finance, I'm sure a lot of you guys have been seeing stuff out there, whether it's in Discord groups or other social media platforms, maybe Twitter, people talking about that Time Wonderland staking platform. I ran it by you for you to deep dive into it, offering as high as 76.5,000% APY.
That's pretty insane.
Guys, it does sound a little bit too good to be true. Because if you just kind of do the math, you could put in $1,000 in this, and a year from now, you would have made somebody's salary off $1,000. Now, is it doable in crypto? Sure, but I don't know if you'll be able to realistically attain it with something like this on a DeFi platform, right? Because if it is offering these types of yields, then you're going to have a lot of people putting in a lot of money into that. Well, I know people that have gone into it and they've been able to get out. They've taken profits because they would put in like $10,000 or $15,000, and then, after a week or so, they made like $1,000 or so, whatever it is, and then they just take profits on that.
Pretty much like yield farming, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, yield farming. There are specific strategies to do yield farming, in a good way. He was just recently talking about also the yield farming that he was doing on MEX for Elron.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have a strategy, right? 76,000% APY.
Yeah.
Probably not going to be sustainable for the entire year. It'll probably start off at that price and it'll come down as
it
more
comes
people.
from the Olympus.
The Olympus DAO.
Yeah, and that one's already very shady. So just tread lightly. All right, nobody's saying that you should avoid it altogether, but just tread very lightly because
Definitely.
just like anything in life.
It could definitely be a good play where you can get in, stay in for a week, get in your percentage, and get right back out, and you made your money, right? Is there a lockup period?
I'm actually looking at it right now. I'm trying to see. I don't. Next calculator, man. I don't see a lockup period at the moment.
Yeah, we'll see if there's no lockup period, then that could be definitely something you guys should look into.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 super chats. Can you look at Angie token?
Angie token?
ANJI token.
What is this? Oh my.
There is a lockup period with the Time Wonderland stake, but you receive an equal amounts of their PEG token, which is the memories token, the memo.
Interesting. This is a pretty low market cap coin.
I'm switching your screen share.
Yeah, for sure. It's on CoinMarketCap. So as you can see here, I guess the fully diluted market cap is around $8 million. So this is pretty high risk. I don't know if I would get into this. I don't usually like to get into projects that are under 100 mil unless they have really strong fundamentals behind them. I'm not sure what it is Angie does, but they're ranked 3,000 and something. Their market cap isn't too good. Obviously, they've had a sharp rise today, around 21%. But I would probably have to do a little bit deeper dive to find out what exactly this coin is and what it does, right? But interesting.
We got one more super chat for opinions on Netverk, NETVRK.
Yes, so Netverk.
hearing about
That
that.
is. I'll put it up over here.
I think it's a gaming play.
That is, so it's similar. It's like a metaverse play. I was actually doing some. It's very similar to like Sandbox, Axie, and like Mana. They have their own metaverse.
Yeah.
Is what you can call it. I
So on
haven't done
blockchain?
too much research. I know that it's still behind, obviously, Coinbase, or I'm sorry, not Coinbase. It's still behind Sandbox, Axie Infinity by market cap. Obviously, they're the biggest players in the space. Can you give me that ticker again? NETVRK.
NETVRK.
There we go. What are they at? Oh, $4. Okay. Okay, I like this market cap, 143 million. Okay. This is something a lot more, I feel like, a lot more better of a project than the last one that you guys mentioned. Yeah, this is something I would definitely do some research into, you guys. Obviously, the metaverse space and the gaming space is very hot right now. And this could be a very good buy-in price. What are we at in the 7-day? Yeah, they were just at $7, and now we're sitting at what, 459. Yeah, guys, this is an interesting play. I know I was reading about. I was actually watching some videos on the different metaverse videos and the different metaverses that exist. This is a newer one. Obviously, it's still the rank is 29,000 or 2,900. So this has a lot of room to grow as well. Definitely look out for this. Do some research. Let's see. Let's see here. I want to see for myself here. Interesting.
Yeah, if you look at their tokenomics,
You got it pulled up on your screen?
Yeah.
Marty?
Tokenomics?
You got the tokenomics on your screen?
yeah, I do have the tokenomics
All
on
right.
my screen.
We're looking at you.
Yes, but so this is the tokenomics here. So they do, basically about a fifth of all the tokens will be, going to staking and then, offering those nice rewards. A lot of times when these, dexes or coins launch, only about 12% goes to the team. So nothing too major, right?
Not too
Usually
bad.
sometimes that's like 50 or something like that goes to the developer. So not a lot is going to the actual team there. As you can see, they do have, looks like 2 seed, they have the pre-seed and the seed sale, and then 2 privates, I guess, auctions or whatever you want to call them here, where they're selling them privately, and then the public sale only about 3% is going in. and looks like there's only going to be a total of what, about 100 million tokens. So I guess somewhat on the smaller end, right? We'd have to get. I actually want to see if they're able to mint any more or create any more at any given time. But
yeah, if you go on mine, so here, very similar to Sandbox, right, guys? So you can buy assets, you can buy land, as you can see here, and then you can buy ad space to, get or generate more passive income. Then on top of that, you're also generating NFTs. So it's almost like earning a couple different forms of passive income. If you buy the land, then you buy ad space. Similar to what I assume Sandbox does as well. You can probably rent it out, and, earn passive income that way as well. So yeah, this looks like a very interesting project, guys. I'm going to definitely look into this and see if maybe this might be a play that I look into myself to get into. Because I'm all into metaverse plays, especially gaming. I think that's going to be the future of where we're going. It's probably going to help carry the crypto space and involve new users into it.
yeah, I also keep seeing in the chat that a lot of people are mentioning that Super Farm is getting listed on Coinbase.
That could be huge.
Yeah, and I do believe one of our coaches, Coach Will, did.
Yeah, he called that at 98 cents a couple months back.
Yep. I'm just trying to see if he did give us the update if it was getting listed on Coinbase. It's always nice to get into those coins that have that Coinbase effect, right, guys?
If you haven't noticed, the Coinbase effect, it is a real thing.
It is very real. But yeah, besides that,
I have some other things I want to mention as well. As Alex mentioned, I am going to be showing one of the charts that one of our coaches posted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Will, one of the coaches here for the Fundamental Secrets, he posted this really great chart, gives you some good insight onto what we kind of see the market going. He gives you good overlays as to what he thinks or what the resistance that we're currently facing is. Gives you a good point. Obviously, this is the uptrend that we see here. If we close below this uptrend, obviously, we know what to do here. But currently, we're still in trend in terms of following the macro trend, right, guys? So, yeah. This is on the weekly time frame. His chart was probably a lot prettier than mine in terms of what to do, but this is the weekly time frame. We're still on a weekly time frame and still on the longer time frames, even the monthly and stuff like that. We're still in this uptrend. I know I showed you guys a chart last week, and that was on the daily time frame, and we did break through that support, but we're still in a macro uptrend in terms of if you look at the next time frame, which was the weekly, we're still holding this support. Obviously, for now, I can't speak for the future.
Hold the line.
But we're holding it pretty well. As you can see, that's this massive dump. We came back and we tested this line of support, and we're currently still above it. So I know things look scary. I know probably a lot of you were very shook. I know I was, because no one could see this market dump coming, right? No one can ever see these things coming. But I thought that one of the greatest things actually over the weekend, and I caught myself thinking about it, I was able to go and talk to people in the community, right? So able to go on FS, be able to read everyone else's concerns, their comments. Everyone has a different perspective and a different thought on this, right? So being able to go in the community and talk to these people and hear what there's a lot smarter people out there than me, right? So I'm not afraid to admit that. There's a lot of people who have been doing this for years, and I gladly take their information and try and make it my own, right? So we have our coaches, we have other dedicated members in the group that have very good insight on the market. So
yeah, everybody brings a little bit to the table. We have somebody like Aaron, who's got a very
macro trends.
Very thorough background in investment banking, and does a really good job of showing the correlations with what's happening, and
especially with SPY with finances, the actual traditional finance market. So
exactly.
So many different inputs, so many different perspectives. I know it helped me calm down over the weekend, because obviously when you see your portfolio go down $10,000, $15,000, everyone gets a little worried. But you have to keep the long term in mind, and that's why I felt the community was actually able to help me keep that in mind.
Yeah, and then it was also nice to see how many people are so eager to buy the dip. Right?
That's true, right? So a lot of
guys,
people.
Again, we've said it before. This is where you get the most excited right now in crypto. It's we all love to be fine and dandy and super pumped when we're getting these 5, 10x's and Bitcoin's hitting that 69,420 mark, right? But the real time to be excited is right now, right? You were getting Bitcoin sub 50K, right? ETH went below 4K. This is where a lot of, the big gains and the big buying opportunities happen is right now. And then you just reap the rewards for, having this cash on the side and then buying in.
Literally, right? So if for example, right, when BTC dropped all the way to 30K and it's made its massive run up as we saw, 69,000. We ran up all the way to 69,000. We were just at 30K a couple months ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we dropped under 50K shouldn't change your psychology of, oh, wow, we're getting a discount right now, right? I always think it's so funny how people's psychology change from the high to the low. When prices are high, everyone's, oh, wow, if the price drops below this price, I'm going to definitely buy it there. Price gets to that point, and you're like, I don't know if I want to buy it there. You have to change that psychology, guys. You have to get through your limiting beliefs, right? So that's a limiting belief, right? If you keep believing that the price is going to drop, then you just DCA with it, right? But you're getting a good entry at something that's going to be going up in the future for years to come, right?
Exactly.
Bitcoin isn't going anywhere. And I saw a really funny tweet, actually, right? Crypto space is the only place where you can, lose a couple $100 million in the market and people just think it's going to dump, right? This is a almost $3 trillion market space, right, guys? A couple $100 million, yeah, it can drop the price, but it's not going to dump it and completely eradicate this out of existence, right? This is one of the biggest spaces and it's only going to continue to grow.
And let's say even if it did, this would be the only space to recover from zero the fastest. This would be the only space.
I would believe that too. But yeah, guys, I don't have much more news in terms of macro news or Bitcoin. As we can see, we're just keeping an eyes on the chart. We're following what Bitcoin is doing, obviously. Keep an eye out for what Alex is going to be dropping later today. He's going to go really in depth as to what he did with his portfolio, his reasonings behind why he obviously sold his BTC into ETH. He's going to go really in depth. Obviously, we talk about it here in the office. But watching that video, he's probably going to get a lot more in depth, which you guys should all keep out for.
Yep. And then, I was just going through Twitter as well, watching some Ben Cohen. And it looks like that maybe, we're not going to have that parabolic Q4 like everybody was predicting and hoping to have what we had in 2017 because, one, the crypto market is way bigger than it was back then, right? And then, two, it's playing into that lengthening cycle theory,
Yes.
right? So, which is good for all of us because instead of us, potentially seeing that top come January, February, time, we can now see this market going all the way up until ETH 2.0 comes out sometime in the summer, right?
Yeah.
Or, May or June, whatever it is. But guys, it's about time in the market. That's really the biggest asset that you have, whether you're in crypto, stocks, forex, whatever. It's about time in the market because that's where your biggest gains are actually going to happen. Sure, we all would have been wanting to buy Bitcoin at $300, right, back in 2013, but what was that cycle, Alex? It was like less than 1,000 days, if that. Maybe like just over 2 years, or sorry, maybe just over a year.
Yeah.
And that was it. So unless you were actually there and you're committing every single ounce of energy and opportunity that you had, you would have missed it. It would have been over just like that. But now we're about to have a 2-year bull market cycle potentially, which has never happened, guys. So even if you're getting in now, you still have potentially 6 months in this market to make some unbelievable gains and then get prepped for that bear market.
I believe it. Last thing I wanted to bring up, guys, I almost forgot about this. Obviously, we use Glassnodes here. They actually came out with a really in-depth tweet last night. So if you want to switch over here to my tablet, Eddie, they pretty much give their assessment as to why they believe this massive sell-off happened. If you didn't know, everyone has their own opinions, but I do believe that the market was over-leveraged. So as you can see here, there was over $2.1 billion lost over the weekend that was in leverage trading. As you can see, if I pull up this chart, pretty big loss here, guys. The last time we saw anything close to liquidations this big was obviously back in the sell-off. I believe it was in September, right when we had that. Before we had March or September. I think we had a massive sell-off in September as well.
Yeah, September. Yeah, it's historically a bad month in all markets. Mm-hmm.
So we did have yes, that was a sell-off there, and they pretty much go over in depth as to could have been the cause behind this, right? So was it long-term holders selling or was it short-term holders selling? So they go in depth here, and in this chart, it goes over long-term holder supply, right? So you can see that long-term holder supply hasn't changed that much over this week. So when it comes to long-term holders selling, it doesn't seem to be the case. It seems to be that short-term holders, as you can see here, shown that they took very significant losses because of this, right? This nice, pretty little chart pretty much goes over how short-term holders realize this loss pretty much, right? So it's not a holding loss, right? It's not when you're sitting in your position and you have the loss. It's a realized loss, right? So that means they closed out their position and they realized this loss. And this kind of shows the meaningful, right? So this shows the exchange inflows, and it only hit 2K and 3.2K, which is similar to what happened back in May, which flushed out almost 25% of future contracts. So this looks like this was a long flush, right, guys? Almost like a long squeeze. They pretty much tried to deleverage the market, right? So this is probably one of the best charts I can show you. Futures open interest is what this is called. Before last week, this was at 22 billion. We saw a $5.4 billion loss in futures open interest, which is huge, right? This has only led to a cascading effect. I believe I also... This only led to a cascading effect, right, guys? So one of the articles... I'll switch over here. There we go. So in this article, it pretty much goes over what it believes happened. So it believes that one of the institutions, or a institution, sold over $500 million of BTC on Friday morning, right? So not this one sell-off is what can probably dump the market. It was the cascading effect from this one sell-off, right? So this price obviously dumped the price a lot, which then caused a lot of liquidations with people using leverage, which then further caused the market to keep going down, right? So this one big sell-off just had a cascading effect that just led to the market keep going down. And this is what happens when the market's over leveraged, right? So whether it's in the shorts or in longs, as you can see, this was more in terms of longs being liquidated, which is honestly one of the biggest numbers I've seen in a while. So this is a lot of the reason why we saw this market dump. So this is other factors that I just want to share.
Yeah, I mean, it also, like that saying, your losses are somebody else's profits, right? Then you think about the amount of people that sold, right, within these last couple of days here. I mean, what do you think the institutions and WES were doing? They're only buying it up.
Only accumulating.
Right? As we know, Alex has said it, Armando said it, I've said it, this market is always being manipulated. It's constantly being manipulated. So it really is a game of chess, right? So every time there's a massive market correction, okay, like should you take profits? Should you sell out? Just remember that every decision that you make, there's going to be somebody else that's profiting or benefiting off of that decision, right? Just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it's not there. It's there, right? So just always keep that in mind, right? Is whenever there is any type of volatility happening, there's somebody on the other receiving end either getting the benefit or obviously the downside of it. And just think about which position do you want to be in? Do you want to be giving them, do you want to be playing into their benefit, or do you want to be giving them a disadvantage?
Yeah. Like Marty mentioned, right? So the market is heavily manipulated. I don't know if manipulated is the right word. I want to say managed, right? So the market is managed in a really interesting way, right, guys? If you didn't know what a market maker is, it's basically someone who provides liquidity to all these different exchanges, right? And they do exist, right? So I just want to show you this one quick page. If you want to switch it over here, Eddie. Basically, this is Almeida Research. If you didn't know who they were, they are a liquidity provider. And here kind of breaks it down, right? So what do? They provide generating idiosyncratic trading advantages with our research, market neutral algorithms, execution strategies, and market making partnerships, right? So in plain letters here, you can see that market makers are a real thing, right, guys? So I just wanted to show this to you because some people don't believe market makers exist and that this is all managed, right? This is an unregulated market, but it is still managed, okay? That's what I want you guys to understand from this. There is still someone there, I want to say pulling the strings, but they have obviously a vested interest in this, and that's how they make their money, right? Like he said, for every person that loses money, there's another person behind that gaining money. And this is what they are in. That's what they do, right? This is how we obviously sell the Fundamental Secrets course and other things to generate revenue. They have their way of generating revenue, which is managing the market, right? Mean reversion, doing all these different things. So look into it. I promise you'll find it very interesting. And once you understand that this market is managed, right?
Managed, not manipulated.
Not manipulated, managed. It'll give you a further insight and it will let you have a clearer picture as to what's going on.
And then just again browsing through Twitter. Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is at a 16, extreme fear, right? So as Warren Buffett always says, be greedy when others are fearful. However, I did see a tweet, I just have to go back and find it, that Warren Buffett called Bitcoin rat poison. So
I
think that should I think that should let you know his stance on how he feels about Bitcoin, if he's threatened by it or not. And seems like he is. And I'm really surprised as to why he wouldn't be investing in Bitcoin himself. But
one of the biggest investors not taking one of the biggest investments. I don't know. It's
exactly.
a little.
Maybe you can't teach a dog new tricks, old dog new tricks, right?
Yeah, I mean, right. But like Marty mentioned, right, guys. So on the Fear and Greed Index, just literally last month, I'm looking at the chart right now. We were sitting at 71, and we've dropped down all the way to 16. If that doesn't give you any sort of indication,
the volatility
that we're kind of experiencing.
From euphoria to dystopia.
Right, guys? This is something, though, that I don't want to necessarily say you use it as a buy signal, but you correlate it with other things and use it as confluence with other things that you've researched to give you another point of confluence to make a buy or a sell. Right now, things are oversold, right? They're extremely fearful. One of the most famous tweets, one of the most famous quotes, as I'm sure you've all heard millions of times in the crypto space, buy when there's blood on the streets, even if it's your own, right? So you can see it here. Obviously, I'm sure we've all taken a small loss here. But as long as you don't realize that loss and you just DCA down, you're going to see your portfolio go back up. Just be mindful. Keep things out. Keep your eyes out. Listen to what the charts are telling you, right? Don't try and trade a future narrative. Don't try and trade a past narrative. Trade what's in front of you, right? That's probably one of the greatest quotes I found in FS from one of our members, Julius, pretty much saying, trade what's in front of you, right? Yeah. So look at the charts.
Stick to your strategy.
Stick to your strategy. If you don't have a strategy, let us help you build one. But yeah, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's it on my end. Obviously, it was not the best weekend if you were in the market, but if you were down here in sunny South Florida, it was beautiful weather. I actually went to the beach, so I'm recharged, rejuvenated. Didn't get a tan, but I'm ready to go.
It's going to be a great week, guys. Make sure to stay up with us. We're going to have another live stream on Wednesday, so make sure to check back with us. I'll be back. Obviously, Marty will be back. Hopefully, Alex will be with us. Make sure to check out his video tonight. He's going to go in depth as to why he did his move tonight with BTC to ETH. That's pretty much it, guys.
Also, guys, we got a giveaway going on YouTube. The next week, one new subscriber will be picked. A chance to win $100 in a crypto of their choice. So
that could be a great time, right? That $100 could turn into like $200 next year.
Then tell your mom, tell your friends, tell your girlfriend, tell your grandma, tell anybody. Go subscribe, and you will have a chance to win $100.
Awesome, guys. Well, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for joining us today. As we always say on the channel, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.